like my brain is like, how do you get to it after the park is closed, and how is that? Like,
There's
I
a door.
feel like okay, this is how my brain made it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome to the DANK Pod, the podcast where 4 Disney adults and no kids share their magical adventures. Join us as we explore the enchanting parks, savor Mickey-shaped treats, and ride Space Mountain without worrying about height restrictions. This week, we chat about Josh D'Amaro's chances of being picked as Bob Iger's successor. Ash dives into Universal's Grand Helios Hotel reveal. January shows us the Roosevelt's Spooky Collection. And Nat leaves with a ton of homework. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get dank. Disclaimer, this podcast is purely for entertainment purposes. We love kids, but sometimes we just want to ride the teacups without them.
All right, let's dive into some Disney news. What has happened last week today in 2024? And so right off the bat, one of my favorite things business-wise has happened. Disney has named the chair for the succession planning committee for Bob Iger, Jim Gorman.
So he's the chair holder to help choose the successor.
I know.
It's not even the successor.
What an awesome responsibility to be the guy in charge of picking the next guy in charge.
Do you think it's a lot of pressure?
Oh yeah,
so many layers.
It's a ton of pressure. Do you remember Chapek when
Just one person, not like a committee?
Oh, it's a committee.
He's like the head of the committee.
He has the big chair. Everybody else has the little squeaky chairs. Like one of them has like a broken wheel on it and shit.
There's nothing worse than a squeaky chair.
It's annoying.
No, I know.
You know, I have a squeaky chair, you guys. Silence.
Bob Iger's contract is expiring in 2026.
We're sorry for your chair.
Natalie, get her a new chair. Bob came out of retirement to right the ship after Chapek really a lot of people think that Chapek messed stuff up. I think Chapek was the right person for the job at that time, and he maybe served as a placeholder. Disney took on a lot of debt, and they had to find ways to pay down that debt. And Chapek stepped up and he played the role of the bad cop. And he was just like, we're going to start charging for everything. And we're going to do all these cutbacks until we service through this debt. And he missed some social cues during the pandemic. During he was late to talk about equality in a time where he should have been more forthcoming and taking care of the people in his charge. And so then people revolted. They brought Bob Iger back out of retirement. It was on a 2-year deal. And since he extended to 2026. Go ahead, Natalie.
It's really crazy because it's like you want them to stand up for their rights. And then there's people who will stop or boycott them or whatever if for once they cross into like, once it's not just work and it crosses over political or anything that they shouldn't worry about, I don't know, gay rights, people will, for real, just, no, they should have just kept it business. And like, I've had the conversation with people. I'm like, yeah, but people that fall under those categories are working for that company. And you don't think they deserve to be represented?
So I have this idea. It's not my idea, but I share in this idea. You do not have a set of morals and values and ethics at work and then shut them off when you get home. Yeah. And I oftentimes will tell people, I'll tell Ashley all the time, business is personal. No matter what anyone tells you, it is personal. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. We get jobs based on who we know, not always what we know. I'm happy to trade on nepotism anytime I can. And at the same time, if I wouldn't shut up about it at home, I'm not going to shut up about it at work. There's, of course, polite ways to bring stuff into it at work, but you're right, 100% right, Natalie. If these people work for you, they make up your company, your community, and you should be standing up for them and taking care of the people who are in your charge. So that's where Chapek fucked up. I kept trying to email him too, throughout the whole process. I don't know if he read them. If he did, do you think he got angry? Because I would say that same stuff, like, hey man, you should probably run this back and do this other way.
Do you think you went straight into his inbox or into spam?
I think it hit his inbox. I'm pretty good at gaming the system so that things hit people's inboxes rather than landing in spam. So no images in my signature, no hidden links. It's just really text. I email directly. I include an appropriate subject line. Sometimes it's a bait subject line, and I get more responses from people who shouldn't be reading my emails in the first place. Yeah.
What are bait subject lines?
So if I was going to send Natalie an email, it would be like top 3 photos of Natalie shaking her money maker.
You have those?
No, it's bait.
Oh, okay.
It's just but that's what you would say in your mind. You'd be like, can't believe how'd he find them? Let me click into this and see what it says. But it might be like an obscure hobby that you have that maybe I don't like. Not many people know about, but people are always more interested to hear about themselves. Top 3 one-liners from Natalie at a stand-up club.
Do you have favorites that you've seen throughout your life?
Favorite one-liners from Natalie?
What are your favorite one-liners from me?
Subject.
I don't. I like to give podiums or like number rankings, like top 10, top 3, number 1 photo, because then I think that people associate value to it and want to open it up a little bit faster. Those are my favorites. I do have favorite emails to send to trigger responses, though. But it's a whole separate podcast.
That's a whole black hole, you guys.
Yeah. So it is an awesome responsibility for Jim to be able to chair this committee, and I want to take my top 3 guesses for who they'll land on.
You have guesses?
I have guesses. I have a podium of people. My prediction is going to come down to 3 people. My number 1 go-to guy, Josh D'Amaro. Oh, I love him. I hope when I age, if it happens ever, when I age as smoothly as he does.
What was the name? I'm sorry.
Josh D'Amaro.
Let me look him up.
You look him up. Look up pics. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful man, and
Is this about his talent or his looks?
I listen.
I'm not judging.
I'm getting a poster of him. That's all I'm saying. There might be an 8x10 of him on the way to frame up. He is a good looking dude.
Does he look like Pedro Pascal? Because I wouldn't
better.
be opposed.
Looks better than Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal calls Josh D'Amaro daddy.
Pedro isn't he the Mandalorian Pedro?
Yeah.
Do you know what this looks like?
Oh, he looks
him?
gorgeous.
That's
is him.
A thinner version of your dad.
It's a thinner version of me.
Of your dad.
I want to look like him.
So
get a full body picture of him because I am trying to have that kind of hair.
You have this hair.
I love that hair.
You actively.
I'm on my way to looking more and more like Josh D'Amaro. Do you think I could be a Josh D'Amaro stunt double? I hope if I go to the parks soon, I hope I get confused for Josh D'Amaro. I bet he smells good. I bet he smells like high quality.
I was going to say, you know what he smells like?
High quality, not high school level. What's that? He smells like wealth, not rich. He smells like wealth.
I feel like
there's a difference.
I may have looked him up the last time you talked about him.
Okay, yeah, because he hit your Googles.
He looks familiar now.
He looks good.
He's very light.
Oh yeah, look at them sneakers. Those are $300 sneakers. I'm sure of it.
Sounds cheap.
For him, he's a bargain hunter. My number 2 slot is Dana Walden, who is currently a co-chair for Disney Entertainment and close friends for Democratic Party nominee Miss Harris. So I feel like Dana Walden could get this job done. I feel like she has the skill set to compete and complete the tasks at hand. I'm always stoked to see very talented people come up through the groups. And I think she was previously a CEO for Fox Television Group, and that's what bridged the gap over to Disney when Disney bought into elements of Fox properties. So very strong candidate there. My number 3 choice should be everybody's initial go-to, Hugh Johnson. He's the current CFO. I feel like CFO is a logical step from CFO to CEO because of you see the whole company, like money-wise, and you have an idea of where things are going. He was at Pepsi. He has a strong, he has that strong background. He came up through Pepsi, left Pepsi for Disney, and has an extremely strong knowledge base for the financial well-being of the enterprise. And that's going to get that could tip the scales in his direction. But my go-to guy, Josh D, big dog tomorrow. I like him a lot. Shifting gears into a more somber tone, the wrongful death lawsuit. I'm sure many of us have heard about. You guys live closer to the parks than we do. Has that hit the news cycle more frequently in your area?
That's a great question. I'll definitely ask someone who watches the news, but we're not that crowd.
The moment you say fair. When you say that's a great question, that's the key, the cue to like say, I don't watch. We don't have televisions in our house.
But we actually did how we get our news from our friend that we hang out with, or different friends, different news, right? But after we went to go see the movie Alien, very good guys. He made a joke about passing away and not being able to sue somebody, and I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, you didn't hear about that? And then that's how we learned.
So you learned from your friend's joke. Okay. When I was in high school, I used to get my news stories from Jay Leno.
That's the best way to get them.
Yeah, staying up on with current affairs. So long story short, a doctor came down from New York, went to dinner with her family at Raglan Road. We've eaten at Raglan Road in the past. It's not fantastic. It's not terrible. It's Irish food.
I was going to say, I don't think it's not fantastic. I just don't think it was our
It's not my jam,
preference.
but it still wasn't bad. Get the corned beef, it's pretty good. And so it sounded like she did her due diligence. If you go to the website, it helps you understand how Disney handles any sort of food restrictions or allergy restrictions. And nobody's presented evidence in the contrary that contradicts the story where she disclosed her allergy to the waitstaff.
Like multiple times, though, allegedly.
Yeah. They said they could handle
it. She was vigilant about it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did I find out? It was like nuts and dairy or something like that?
I think it was it was
definitely like a nut allergy. So when it comes to like anaphylaxis, and that's where your throat like closes up, right? That's usually a very quick reaction. So when I read, I think that it was a nut allergy because they were concerned, because like that can be an issue with oils where that foods are cooked in, not just necessarily nuts themselves. So she had disclosed the allergy several times throughout the ordering process. They were reassured multiple times that they could handle it, and the food came back to them without like the allergen flags, whatever they stick in there. Yeah. And the waiter allegedly, well, I wasn't there.
Okay, just checking.
Reassured them that the cooks had been made aware this wasn't going to be a problem.
Right, like they reported it, like they did their diligence.
Right.
So where in the chain of command?
Well, so that's where it gets a little fishy.
Did it go wrong?
They finished the meal, they left, and parted ways. So it was like her and two others, like her husband and a friend, or her husband and a parent, or even something like that.
She wasn't feeling well, so she retreated back to the hotel. It took like 45 minutes.
The spouse did. The spouse went back to the hotel. She went shopping.
Oh.
And 45 minutes later, she had separated from the person that she was with. And forgive me, I don't remember if it was like her mother or a friend or whatever the situation was. Mm-hmm. And then she was found 45 minutes later in the throes of a reaction.
And she had an EpiPen, so she did dose.
So they did dose an EpiPen. She got to the hospital, but I believe she passed at the hospital is what I read.
So she definitely passed away.
Like she was right at the finish line.
Yeah. Exactly. So it is a sad story, and I'm not trying to throw any shade on the story. The element that we're bringing up in this one is the decision to move from arbitration or to try to avoid lawyers do lawyery things, and the lawyers for Disney had baked in like arbitration clauses into things like your Disney Plus account. You sign up for Disney Plus and you agree that anything that happens for Disney, you'll
go. It's like
you'll go to arbitration.
Yeah, it's like pass go immediately, straight to jail into arbitration. Like no ifs, ands, or buts.
And so they said that he signed up for this however many years ago and reaffirmed his commitment to the arbitration when he purchased tickets to Epcot or something like that for this trip. So, it's common knowledge you don't read everything that's in there. So oftentimes what I like to do is copy paste terms and conditions into AI and just ask for a summary of it. That's a good use of AI. So if you don't do that, you could. Other things that I do for terms and conditions is I just agree and think nothing's bad.
But you know what? Like it's just
100%.
And the thing is that like there's no I'll agree to these terms but not these terms. Like either you want the service or you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no gray area. You're left to litigate it. The issue here is that it's not the husband litigating, it's the estate litigating. And so Disney realized the social miscue of saying like, hey, you sign up for Disney Plus, you agreed to arbitration. We know this person passed away. We don't own the restaurant. We don't operate the restaurant, but here's the, let's go to arbitration. So they're not saying we don't owe you any money. They're just saying.
Do you know who released the statement?
Who?
Josh Tomorrow. At Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations. With such unique circumstances as the ones in this case, we believe the situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite a resolution for the family who have experienced such a painful loss. As such, we've decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court. I think what's also wild is the estate's not going after a ridiculous sum. It was only like $50,000.
It doesn't disclose what they're going after. It just says in excess.
Oh, there were
$50,000.
articles about it. Okay, so then that makes sense.
It's a baseline.
Okay,
it's like there are limits to small claims court as well, but I don't see Disney losing a ton of money in this.
It's a good response.
They don't. There's an expectation of safety when you go to any restaurant on Disney property. And we had an allergy experience recently. We went with a friend where she was allergic to mango, and they just looked. She said, "I have an allergy. It's mangoes." They said, "Hey, listen, don't stay away from this beverage. There's, to our knowledge, there's not mangoes in it, but we don't make the beverage, and we can't guarantee against cross contamination." So, I just think it's an interesting move, and I'm proud of Josh for this.
Yeah, fairly quick response because it's been ongoing now I think the incident happened last year, but the news was making the rounds in the last month solidly.
Yeah.
So for them to have...
Lawyers take a shot, lawyers mess it up, Josh sets the record straight.
Well, I think that's also Josh. Like a point in the corner for social media, like for that news to have made the rounds and to catch the attention, and like the lawyers on socials were really like, this isn't going to stick. This is a joke and it's an insult to the family. And that alone is going to make Disney like,
yeah,
maybe.
Well, exactly. And I think that the lawyers on Disney's side also understand what's actually going to be at stake. And it's not going to be a whole bunch. It's better you don't want to pay the social tax. You just pay a little bit more in court. That's all. On a lighter side, we'll flip the switch to a happier note here. The Percy Jackson Season 2 trailer for Disney Plus has been released. That's Ashley just let the air out of a balloon really quickly. So, yeah, I have watched the trailer. It's a whole bunch of season 1 cuts in the trailer, but it looks like it's going to be
probably not an actual trailer.
It's leaning into the series. So this is the next book. What's the second book in the series, Ash? It's not an ocean, but a
Sea of Monsters.
There it is.
I was guessing. I wanted to turn to my left and look at my bookshelf, but I haven't stocked it up yet. I love the Percy Jackson series, and I really enjoyed this reboot.
I was wondering if it was a reboot.
It is.
So they've done movies or shows before?
Yeah, they did the movies. I don't even know how many years ago now. It might be close to 10. And I don't think they were terrible movies. It's just in the way that movies don't always hold as true to the books. Time is finite, right? Also,
how
cast,
prophetic of you.
I know that was good, right? That you like that word. But also the cast was a little bit older, than the children in the books. This is meant to be a young, not even a young adult, but almost a children's book. So we love Rick Riordan in this house. I love the Percy Jackson series. There are several spin-offs of the series of books that I haven't fully gotten to, but I think the world is very well done. And I really thought that they did well on the Disney+ series. I thought the cast was very inclusive. We didn't lose anything in that. I thought the story was told very well. I thought it was very true to the books, all things considered. I'm stoked. I hope they continue this. If this gets canceled, I would be.
Well, he's going to age out eventually. But I think they're leaning into it because they definitely made a mention of we're going to see a more adult version of Percy.
Well, I mean, Percy grows in the book, in later series. I mean, they get up to teenage years. He's 12 to start, but each book is probably a year later. Not unlike Harry Potter.
What's the journey that Percy's on? That he goes on?
So, in this world, Percy Jackson is the son of Poseidon, but he is not initially claimed by Poseidon. And it's a point of contention, right? He was raised what is now a single mother. There are reasons for that. You find that out along the way. The children of the gods are targeted, usually killed. And so they kept Percy a secret for as long as possible. They tried to keep him away from the world to keep him safe. It just all eventually catches up with you.
The struggle.
And then there are just plot lines that happen along, along the way. You build friends and relationships, and you learn about the gods and how shitty they are. And
he's very passionate. Natalie, if you were a god, what powers would you have?
Oof. This is hard. I wasn't ready.
I know. I caught you off guard. I caught you sleep.
Short
I caught you.
circuit.
You were leaning. You were leaning.
If I were a god, I mean, I feel like. So, okay, question. So, are you asking if I were a god, what god would I be, or if what power would I have?
Like what? Like so. Think like Zeus, Hades,
right.
Poseidon, Thor, Loki.
Right. I mean,
I'd
have to go. I would want to be on Zeus level. He's the king. Yeah.
But that's not very fun. I see you more like Dionysus.
Oh, me?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Dionysus?
I like snarky Thor from Ragnarok. That's who I like. Also, should be noted that snarky Thor eventually, butt naked, took out Zeus.
So Dionysus is the Greek deity of wine, merriment, theater, and
you know
fertility.
What? That's the one.
I know.
I
nailed it. One. The second he said it, I was like,
nailed it.
That's my Natalie. I thought.
Oh, January. How many times have we messed up your name in this episode so far?
9.
I didn't hear any.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
It's a record so far.
If you. What kind of god are you gonna be, January?
Can I want to be the god of the crops. Like, let's give people
food. My
god,
that was so great.
How that is so amazing.
That was.
She's so giving. That's it. Our January is
the goddess of agriculture and the harvest, and is often depicted with crops.
A cornucopia of love from January.
And the land's fertility.
Land's fertility.
Is that why you thoroughly enjoy living with the land at Epcot?
First off,
I do
that's
like
a
living
fun.
with the land.
That's a good experience. How about you guys? What's yours? Who?
Jonathan is Aries all day.
No, I'm Snarky
You're
Thor.
Snarky Thor.
Snarky Thor from Ragnarok.
You're thinking outside the box.
Yeah. What are you, Ash?
I really don't know.
Let me try to think here. I don't know.
Use your brain sickles.
My brain sickles. I don't know. You gotta. Ooh, it's a tough one. You do like fish. Maybe you would be Poseidon.
I mean, I don't mind.
That's
fish.
an interesting pull out.
I've been pulling out for years. I know, right? You took it there. Speaking of going places, how are we feeling about going to Italy?
I know you have big feelings about it.
For Epcot.
I've heard a lot of things out there. A lot of people are talking about it. Have you guys seen the menu for Italy at Epcot's Food and Wine Festival?
Hold on. I think we lost Natalie.
She's not there?
Does she know? She's still talking?
I don't think so. You're good.
You back in?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't even do anything.
Está bien.
It hates me.
It's okay. We
what were you guys talking about? What
everything.
Did I
We
miss?
discussed everything while you were away.
Oh.
You missed the whole
I was
menu.
like, I need you guys to understand that I was like, are you still thinking about the God? What?
You were gone that long.
I was because the thing. It's fine.
We're on Food and Wine, Natalie. We're on Food and Wine.
Oh my gosh.
January. Hit us with the hot gossip for the Italy World Showcase footage.
So some people might say the options on the Italy menu are not very Italian.
You don't say.
Very controversial. A lot of people don't like it.
You know, some people just are not fans of Italian.
Okay, well, let me
Epcot?
tell you.
Yeah, tell us what's on the menu because I am a fan of Italian.
The first item is an Italian style nacho quotation.
Nachos? Nachos as in
with
like Mexican or where does?
Well, I guess the components here are homemade beef ragu pasta chips. So I guess that's the chip.
So beef ragu, you're talking about the French stew?
Bow tie pasta.
So the first ingredient already off the bat.
Yes.
Pasta, Italian?
Is pasta where does pasta originate from? I thought it was China.
It is China. But, you know, the Italians eat it.
Although the pasta chips, I definitely had to like look up. So I think what you do is you boil them, season them, and then deep fry them.
What?
I mean, you could probably bake
so they're
them.
crunchy.
Yeah. Otherwise they're just like hard shit. Like, have you ever just like, let me get some spaghetti al dente, like super al dente, like raw, just crunch on it. Never been like, I'll take some hummus with this.
So yes, that's their base. Then they're going to top it with tomato sauce and dried ricotta cheese.
Ooh.
I didn't know that ricotta got dry.
I mean, if you leave it out long enough.
But that's like against its purpose.
Maybe we should all just get like one and we all have like a bite.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not very Italian.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
Absolutely. What's up?
Where would we put, like, if they weren't there, where would you have put those items on what menu, on what country?
So if it didn't belong to Italy, where would we put it?
Yes.
I'd put it in Mexico.
Because they're nachos?
Because nachos.
Yeah, is that racist?
No,
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, it's a dish that's served. Well, maybe it's not very Mexican because we're talking about how all these ingredients are nachos actually Mexican. Though?
I wasn't hungry until we started talking about.
It creeps up on you real quick. So let's who's got the homework on nachos? Where do nachos come from?
Wow.
From the deep fryer.
At those tortillas.
Yeah. Mexico.
I don't think anybody anticipated to have the
I
the
didn't know
history
we
of
were going to be
nachos.
Googling to pick a fight with Disney.
I'm not picking a fight. I love Josh. The
But you hate Epcot.
Second menu item.
second menu item.
Second menu item.
It's Lord Palpatine from Star Wars.
It's a word.
Is it?
Yes.
Because I believe
It means meatball.
Because it is a beef meatball, right?
Pulpet.
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 Yeah, but if you
they-
Google Palpatine,
Google Palpatine.
Polpetine.
And does
Yeah.
it autocorrect the pulpet?
Food.com.
Does it
Palpatine Italian Housewife's meatball recipe.
Is that? Are you reading Palpatine or Pulpet?
Do you want to come walk the 4 steps over to my computer?
I'm gonna trust you.
It doesn't sound like it.
The way that you said I'm gonna trust you sounded very distrusting.
I'm not eating the candy that was in the bottom of her purse. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. So you've got these.
Even AI.
Okay. So you've got these. What are they? What kind of?
They're small meatballs.
You know what? Ashley is right. They
Ashley
are
is
small
right.
meatballs.
Okay. So are these going to be like
It's
the Chef Boyardee meatballs?
No, I think it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be like the meatballs you get from the frozen section at Walmart, like in the bag.
Oh.
Those are actually really good meatballs, though, so I'm not even mad. If they screw up the bread, that's really like if the
I made meatballs last week, guys.
you
They
did.
weren't.
Do you like
Yeah.
make them at home, like from scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very curious about this process
Yeah.
because my
They were
mom
actually-
died before she like actually wrote down
Right
the
in
recipe.
the fields. Right in the fields.
Well, I'm very passionate about meatballs for this reason.
It's a
Aw.
culture. Like people pass down their meatball recipes.
Yeah, for sure.
But mine doesn't write it. She didn't write anything down. It was all by like
No,
smell.
you know what?
Salad.
That's actually I've told my mother that, God forbid, when it happens, I told her, I want you to start writing down.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't. My mother has never measured anything in her life.
I've been asking
When I
my
ask
dad
her-
for a decade to write it down.
I've asked her when I call her for things. I'm like, okay, how much of this? And she's like, oh, you gotta eyeball it.
You
And
gotta
I'm like, wait, what? No, what? She's like, no, you gotta see and you gotta look. And I'm like, I see and I look, but I still don't know.
She measures with her heart.
With her heart.
That's
My mom would
She's-
cook with her heart. I'd be like, Mom, how long does this go in the oven? I don't know. What does it look like? She'll say
What does
to
it
me.
look
Free spirit.
Oh. I could never. I'm like, I need when I don't know if you know this about me, but I will measure my food by the gram, and then I have an Excel spreadsheet that I enter stuff into, so that way I know what nutrients I'm gathering from each
Like
item.
precise.
Can't. You don't taste the difference between jar sauce and homemade sauce.
I don't, but I'll measure it. I need to know how much I'm eating of it. I was coming home from a ride this weekend, and I was like, "Hey, Ashley,
Squirrel.
okay, what's our next item on the?"
Squirrel.
Wine.
No, we have
To
a dessert.
summarize, the pulpatine, the meatballs, it has rosemary
Oh, I like
and
her.
pompadour sauce.
Rosemary focaccia.
Oh,
That's the bread.
Focaccia.
oh, that's the bread.
It's seasoned bread,
Oh,
basically. So
interesting.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
like
If they screw up,
focaccia?
if they screw up the bread and it's like focaccia it's meant to be crunchy, but if you overcook that, then it's gonna be like
I'm gonna hate
chewing
hearing
cement.
It. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you'll
I'm not
divorce
sure.
me.
Oh no. And then pomodoro
For
sauce
dessert.
is just like what, thick tomato sauce?
I think pomodoro is probably not quite as thick because like ragu, I think is thicker because of the meat.
Well, the ragu or ragu?
Ragu.
Ragu is a sauce. RAGU is a sauce. RAGOUT, which is what we're talking about in a previous menu item, is a stew, a French stew.
Mhm. It's
Eh,
thicker. Both of them are thick because of the
okay.
meat in them.
There's meat in the ragu RAGU.
So
sauce.
do you want stew in your nachos?
No, I don't.
So is it?
It's like a
Wait.
thickened meat stew. There might be some
So
starch
right,
involved, too,
if it's
to help
meat,
it set.
because are you saying because it's over the nachos?
Almost like a paste.
So I'm thinking, I don't know. Oh my God, we have to see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try.
Can
we're
we-
gonna have to vote on this one.
So you're
in the
right.
real world.
Pomodoro is usually thicker.
Okay.
Marinara is not quite as. I lean more towards marinara myself.
It's a little marinara's thinner,
It's
runnier, but chunkier sauces in that one. We're not even talking about marinara, but this is going to be a thicker sauce for them, right?
Allegedly.
So it's going to be meatballs with a thicker sauce. It's it's going to be
like a puree.
It's going to be like ants on a log, but with meatballs, red
with
sauce.
The raisins?
Yes, with raisins and celery and peanut butter, except the Italian version of it.
This feels like a very deep dive into these 2 menu items, guys. I just want the cheesecake.
The American cheesecake?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure when you go to Italy, you're ordering American cheesecake.
It's probably delightful.
There's nothing more Italian than American dessert.
The strawberries might be Italian.
They're probably grown in Epcot. Natalie is our food source person of.
Well, if we're gonna go through every menu items, there's like 50 beverages.
They have 50 beverages in Italy?
There's a lot of bullet points.
There is a lot of bullet points in here for beverages. How many of them are Italian?
Bellini's not Italian?
I don't know.
I think
it ends with a vowel. It's probably Italian. Prosecco is Italian. Those are wines.
Is Chianti Italian wine?
I don't know. I guess.
Well, you Googled everything else.
Well, the only things I Googled are the ones that stood out, like sangria. I was trying to figure out what part of Italy sangria comes from.
So Chianti is a dry red wine made only in a specific part of Tuscany.
Oh, those Tuscans will get you. I think Prosecco, Moscato.
All those?
Yeah.
Well, Prosecco's
Chianti?
I thought Prosecco was closer to like champagne.
I don't know. What's that?
Which would not be Italian.
It would be
right.
It would be French, but it's January. What were you saying? I missed it. I heard a little bit.
Have you tried a Chianti?
I have.
Chianti wine?
I have not. When you bring out the wine and the cheese, I go for the cheese.
I love cheese.
I know, right? I wish they had more.
What if you could never have cheese again?
I would be less gassy.
Oh, Prosecco is an Italian white wine.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
I like it.
So they got Italian for the adult beverages.
For most of the liquid.
For most of them.
Tequila is not Italian.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
tequila,
sangria, blood orange margarita, and then Pilsner. Those are not Italian.
But
things.
it's Peroni Pilsner.
Yeah, well, Pilsner is like German.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But maybe it just means the glass that it's in and not the actual.
It's a blonde lager or like a light lager.
Peroni is an Italian beer.
Okay, but it's still a German blend, a German recipe. It's not like when you talk about like having a specific a menu for it, don't you want like a taste of Italian food?
I mean,
do you guys enjoy Italian?
Yeah, who doesn't like Italian food? It's un-American to not like Italian food.
Have you ever met anyone who doesn't like Italian?
A lot of the times, the Italian food that we're having in America is far from Italian. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we love Italian restaurants. Like we will oftentimes really splurge for Olive Garden.
When was the last time we went to Olive Garden? You're so full of it.
That's like
I can't.
I know Natalie has got.
I know what you're doing.
Temples. Oh my goodness.
But no flights. I would like to try each of those things. I wish they had it.
Each of those ones going to be a long ride home if you try all of them.
Well, you drive home. I don't drive home.
No, that's fine. You Jesus, take the wheel.
I mean, actually, we're going to be up there for the night when we go next.
Oh yeah. Are we? Oh wait, when are we going next?
Stay.
Bro, you made plans.
Did we make plans? I'll have to pencil it in.
You made the plan.
Oh, I probably did. I don't know when. But we're going. Hey guys, we're going.
You told them.
I told you. It's probably in our group chat. Yeah, we got that. We got a few concert nights coming up too that we're trying to dive into.
That's when we're going.
Oh, nice. I'm glad.
Are you
so concerned.
Are you glad? Are you sure?
Well, you guys know how I feel about Epcot.
You made the plans.
But that's because I figure you guys are going to eat stuff, and we can sing and dance at the same time.
Our polpatine meatballs.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we got to get the nachos.
And Bellini spritzes.
We got to get the nachos.
We got to get the nachos. Yeah. I think we're going to have to get the nachos. I'm going to pass on the cheesecake, but
no, I'm getting the whole menu.
You're getting the whole. You're going to get the whole. You're getting the whole Italian menu. You're going to get.
I'm not going to get all the drinks because I don't make that kind of money.
It's okay. We're here.
Yeah,
we'll handle that part.
We'll just each order like 2 drinks and then like half and half them.
Oh my goodness!
Sounds like a solid plan.
That's a solid plan.
Pour it all
just bring
into one
backup
cup.
cups in the bag.
Pour it all in the.
I want to. I need us to
bring Ziploc.
Lay out the game plan for when we are there. What's gonna get hit? What's on the list?
It sounds like you're volunteering.
Oh yes, that's good use, Ashley.
While you're up.
While you're up.
Wow.
Yes, I love it. January.
Okay.
We got her. It's Natalie will create the checklist of what we're gonna hit when we go up there.
Yeah, because Ashley will go just off of vibes. I'll just wander like a lost spirit.
I can't do that. That goes right against my. It pushes back against the tism, the grain of my tism.
Have a checklist.
Yeah, I think we were making plans to be up there every few weeks during the festival, and it goes from 8/29 all the way through Friendsgiving on 11/23. So it kicks off this weekend.
Finally,
it's happy to be right in the dance.
Do you think they waited so that there would be? Do you think they waited so that there would be somewhere hype to go that wasn't strictly Halloween based?
No, I think. Natalie is our expert. She's our SME on this. Hit us, Natalie. Exactly.
We have, from what I found, like obviously they haven't given any explanation, and it's just like hard to understand because it is one of their more popular festivals. But I feel like we had a theory last time. Something was open or closing or something was happening, and we thought that we were waiting for that to die down before kicking this one up. No? I made that up?
Let's go for it. Yeah, something was...
It sounds familiar. Somebody
was open,
keep me honest.
And then it closed, and...
I don't know. No. I said either something was... something was either being completed or repaired or something was dropping something. There was some kind of... I don't know what the activity or event was, but the theory was that we were waiting for that to end or start or whatever before starting this.
I mean, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party kicked off at Magic Kingdom. And
yeah, but that's magic. What's that got to do with Epcot?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think
you
it's
think
just
we're trying
somewhere
to steer traffic?
not Halloween to go. Like, so HHN kicks off this weekend. Mickey's Not So Scary is already kicked off. I just thought it was weird that Food and Wine was delayed.
Do you think it's a direct... Well, do you think...
Oh, yeah, when it's premiering with a lot of other events.
Yeah, like maybe they were trying to offset some of the... get some of the adult traffic back from market rival.
5 minutes ago, that's what I said.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. My
what
fault.
did you think I
I'll
asked?
go back into my corner.
No, I just I feel like you mansplained it.
It's not mansplaining. Let me tell you exactly what
mansplaining. I said something.
Let me tell you what mansplaining is.
And then you reworded it
again.
Are you going to mansplain?
Yes, let me mansplain to you about what mansplaining is. And that was not mansplaining. You can tell mansplaining, obviously, by the... No.
I think you tismed it is what you did.
Maybe. But yeah, okay. I maybe I didn't understand the words that you were using in order to articulate your theory.
Can I tell you guys how often that happens? It's exhausting.
That I don't know what you're saying.
This is the regular argument.
Yeah, I'll say something. He'll say, "No, it's not that," and then 5 minutes later, he'll have this grand idea. That was your idea.
No, that's not. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. No, write it down next time.
My favorite is when they're immediately it's a question and then you give the answer and they're like no, and then the answer that they give you is the answer you just gave them.
Yes, I used to work with a lady like that. Except she would say it like this. Ugh, Jonathan's right. January, are you laughing extra hard?
Oh my gosh. It was just the enthusiasm you had behind the disgust.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's Jonathan's.
I could feel it. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Side randomness. Today in history in Disney. Guess what? Probably nobody has ever even seen or heard of this, but in 1949 they dropped a clip, a bit, not a skit, a cartoon. It was a cartoon, but it's Goofy, and it's called the Goofy cartoon. I'm just kidding. It's called A Tennis Racket, and it's him basically playing against himself. Very classic Goofy. But that was in 1949 today.
Well, thank you.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
We appreciate
I love
that.
Goofy. Did you guys
dig up some more information on it?
Did you guys ever see the movie?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Blasphemy.
Now you've got homework, Natalie. Before our next recording session, Natalie, fully expect you to have watched a Goofy movie.
I also haven't
we'll
seen
share
Percy
our
Jackson.
rating. Oh, maybe we should do Percy Jackson too.
I mean, that's a whole series, so there's time.
We need more time for that. But yeah, I think
but a Goofy
we can
movie
definitely
is a must.
do.
Powerline is an icon.
Yeah. Let's circle back. Let's put this train back on its tracks. Natalie's got a bunch of homework after this segment.
So much homework. Sorry,
so much homework. She's got to watch a Goofy movie.
Let me write down the homework.
Yes.
Yes, please write it down.
We're going to hold you accountable here. So Natalie is going to lay out our ping pong style map for when we go
No, that was January.
No, it was Natalie doing that.
No, yeah, that was me.
But I was going to map out our journey at Epcot.
Yeah, we're going to map it out. I'll be texting and asking questions because I know we have different palettes, but definitely, yeah, I'm excited. And then when you guys come back up, we'll do that. Also,
give that some thought. Let's get outside the berm for a little bit, and I know we've got a couple of elements that have us excited. Who wants to go first? January or Ashley? You guys have this inkling that you guys have a couple of things.
I mean, my thing is small. I'll go first. In my defense, a lot of the Outside the Berm news dropped today, so I didn't have time to get it in for this episode. So it's going to be less interesting. But some details with Epic Universe's dedicated resort hotel dropped last week. And it's very exciting because this hotel is in the park, as a feature itself.
That's like a first, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there are hotels that are very close to parks, literally on the outskirts, but on the perimeter even, but not as a focal point. So the Helios Grand Hotel is in Epic Universe. It is going to have 500 beds.
500 rooms.
500 rooms, which is a big number. That's pretty out there. It's supposed to have this whole tranquil, celestial kind of vibe to it. There are themed rooms for those that need it. There are Minion themes and How to Train Your Dragon, which I'm stoked for, by the way. There's going to be There's going to be dining options, of course. There's a full service restaurant, Flora Taverna, which sounds a little Italian, but possibly Greek. Offerings, breakfast.
I'll tell you what makes me super excited about this.
That it's in the park?
That it's in the park. I think they're going to shut down portals to the park, and you'll be able to access the main thoroughfare of the park like you would Disney Springs or
I'm concerned about the noise
City
level
Walk.
with that. I'm not going to lie, because I want to sleep. At the end of a park day, I'm going to be tired. So lights I can probably handle, but the noise of the rides, even without people on them, is a concern of mine.
They're not going to run them all night.
I mean,
they wouldn't really have to soundproof.
Yeah,
they run them all night now. Those rides don't stop.
What about the windows?
They would really have to soundproof.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the soundproof hurricane glass and stuff will hold up. I don't know. I have concerns.
If it doesn't,
you have high expectations. That would be a feature that they really should pay attention to.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, yeah, like I don't know. Like my brain is like, how do you get to it after the park is closed, and how is that? Like
There's
I feel
a
like
door.
I feel like the way okay, don't this is how my brain made it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Like it's the park, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like the rose in Beauty and the Beast, how it has like the cover. Like that's this random building, the center of a park that's just like a bubble covering it, protected.
Pretty much. I think I think it's just at the end of a long roadway. Like think of it like the castle at Magic. And so you walk down Main Street USA, and just instead of it being in the center of the hub, it's all the way at the far end. And each land or world or universe for them branches off, and to access them, you have to go through the same centralized portal. It's like one way in, one way out kind of thing. So, yeah, and at the very end is going to be the Grand Helios Hotel. I wonder how much. I think.
Do you guys like to do the resorts? Have you done resorts?
For Universal?
So for Universal, we haven't dabbled in it. There wasn't anything overwhelmingly themed, though, that caught our interest.
We stayed at Cabana Bay.
It wasn't our choice.
Yeah. I mean, when we go to Universal, we stay off property at like Spark or
it's
Home
usually
Suites.
it's like a Hilton brand hotel.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
close.
it's a short drive. Like it's not the intensity that can be Disney. I think when we got our Disney APs last year, that was a goal of mine, was to explore and stay at the Disney resorts just for that Disney bubble experience. So I think, Universal kind of took a note from that in this situation, and that you're going to be in a Universal bubble.
In the past,
that's exciting.
Universal hasn't always owned their resorts either. It's
That's
like
true.
been Lowe's and Hard Rock and stuff like that. And now it's
what's also cool about the hotel is that it's going to have a rooftop bar.
Ooh.
I like rooftops. I approve this.
You got to go in the right time of the year, though.
Yeah, you can't. Not August. You got to go in January.
January could be cold. Could be hot. You don't know.
If you want it to be colder out and you were going to dress for like cooler weather, what would you wear January?
In January time in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
You're okay with a pair of jeans and a sweater.
Would you have any sort of exciting pattern on it?
Oh, yeah. So there's this website. How would you pronounce this?
How's it spelled?
It's spelled RSVLTS. They're doing like a play on.
I'm sorry, January, you've missed some of the vowels. Could you please tell me where the vowels are so that I can adequately pronounce it?
That is a good observation because the vowels are missing.
So we have to infer our own vowels?
Yes.
I like to think that it starts with an O.
So it would be Oswald. Results. I think it looks like results.
I thought it was like Roosevelt's.
Roosevelt?
Right.
Yeah, Roosevelt. Right. Oh,
that's how my brain.
That seems so much better.
Same. Same.
That's interesting.
I couldn't tell you why. That was my brand of tism.
Because it's the V. Like you should acknowledge the V, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's if you don't acknowledge the V. But this is
Roosevelt's. If you Google how to pronounce RSVLTS, Roosevelt is an apparel brand born from the love of sports, pop culture, and above all, having a kick-ass time.
Yes.
Maybe I heard it
before.
before.
You're on a roll today. Like you're just being right, left, or right.
Occasionally, the stars align.
I love the energy. I'm loving the energy.
The long dramatic sighs. Are we looking at the spooky collection?
Yes.
It's so cool.
Spooky season, you guys. They've dropped. Let me see. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one's called Oogie's Turn to Boogie.
I like that a lot. It's a very bright and vibrant. I do like I feel like two things. Number one, you got to be on Team Green to support that one.
Oh, but the hoodie's pretty spectacular.
It is. It's fantastic. I hope it's blacklight eligible.
It is.
Yeah, it looks like it, right? Like
yes,
Oogie Boogie would
for
be.
sure.
I like it. You know what stumps me a lot when people shorten The Nightmare Before Christmas to NBC.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Don't reduce it.
They reduce it.
I've never heard that before. People right now, you are people.
Do you have the Facebook?
Do I have the Facebook?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
On the Facebook.
If you're on the Facebook. I
do have the Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't really go on.
Yeah, they go on there.
To be better.
They'll be like NBC, and I'll be like, that's the wrong IP, and then I'll have to think and be like, oh yeah, no, it's.
Oh, the Disney Villains one
is Christmas. I like the Zero. There Goes My Zero with the little house, the dog house thing in the middle of it, like on the pocket.
On the pocket.
That's pretty chill.
I agree with Ashley. Like the villains print.
The Neon Nightmare.
Let me see.
What's the theme of it? Spooky mashup.
I'm on page 2. I don't know what page you're on.
You made it to page 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on page 1.
No, you're looking too much.
Oh, look, there's one for me. It's called Hangry.
Yeah, that one's really cool. Okay. So the prints are they pull you in. I also like the Haunted Mansion wall creeps, it is my favorite ride. So if you want to rock the wallpaper, you can.
I like it. Dress me in your finest wallpaper.
Yes. It's iconic.
It is iconic. It is.
Couture.
Did you say couture?
It's couture.
Nice.
I mean, for Disney, yeah.
Exactly.
I see a lot of dudes wearing this brand at the parks. I think it's supposed to be really breathable, too.
I think I have...
It is the Neon Nightmare.
I have the Marvel Pride version of the button down.
Oh, you do?
Did you guys see the Sanderson sisters?
Yeah.
Wait, are they on here?
Baby, there's like 4 pages. You're going to have to ramp that up.
I'm on page 2.
There's a couple of Universal IPs, too.
The Coco, the Music in Me. Can I put my music in you later, Ashley?
No, thanks.
Damn.
Oh, man. Good effort.
Oh, they're doing a really good job. Even like the throwback, the vintage Huffin' and Puffin'.
What's your favorite place to eat at Magic Kingdom? Go.
Are we rapid firing? Or
it's happening.
You're blowing your load right now, right here.
It's happening. It's happening.
Son of a gun. All right, just blindside you with it. Favorite place to eat at Magic Kingdom? Oh, I'm gonna go with the Adventureland Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Whip.
Ashley.
It's the spring rolls in front of Adventureland for me.
The cheeseburger ones?
I like the cheeseburger and the pepperoni ones. Although I think the cheeseburger one gives me heart.
The beignets didn't do it for you?
Well, I only had them once.
Definitely not the chicken strips, though. Fuck those.
They were okay. They weren't terrible.
January. What's your
favorite place to eat in Magic Kingdom? I'm going to be honest, I don't eat there that often.
Yeah, we haven't explored too much there.
And that's a problem. We all need to do better. Same answer. We haven't, you know what? I've only really we've eaten at Casey's. We had the hot dogs. We had.
Yeah, like a hot dog's not anything
in
favorite.
In Frontier. What is it? By Frontier? Is it?
Frontierland's out there too.
The Pecos, what over there. We've eaten over there.
Tacos?
Yes. And we've had the comic burgers over there by Space Mountain.
Cosmic Rays.
But what's definitely on my list now is to go to America and try the lobster roll.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You were on the hunt for that in colonial times. So, yeah, you go there, and then as soon as you're done with that, you can go try to scare it out of yourself at the Haunted Mansion.
We ate at a fancy place at the front of the park, but I can't remember what it's called. Is it the Plaza?
That wasn't. Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
I thought that was at Disney Springs.
No, it's in the. It's in Magic Kingdom.
At the park. Okay.
In colonial America.
I want to make it to the Friars Nook because that's where they seem to have like some of the fun, different things.
What's the?
I don't know. That's why I never got there. Fantasyland.
Yeah.
It's probably over by the Bell stuff.
The Friars.
Interesting.
That's where I see all like the fun snacks on TikTok. They have a cheddar bacon and ranch tot.
You like a good tot?
The savory doesn't do it for you? I don't understand.
Magic clearly isn't it. Which park that you go to have you had the best food?
Universal Studios.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not
100%.
on the table.
In our defense, we just really haven't done a lot of eating.
I've eaten
at Disney.
At Disney. Disney food is not.
It's
the
not
same.
it.
You're right.
Oh
Disney
my
food is
gosh.
not it.
We wanted to do.
I feel like not in the park food. Like Disney Springs has, I think.
When they farm out their stuff to other people, you put your life on the line. Way to bring us full circle. You definitely put your life on the line when you go to eat there at Disney Springs. I didn't enjoy the tapas restaurant, but I did enjoy the Italian joint. And Raglan Road didn't stick with me, but I did like some of the desserts.
Raglan was very loud for you. That was
loud. The dancing.
We went to dinner at Maria and Enzo's the last time we were in Springs. Like when we met you guys for the drone show, we were there.
The tapas joint was medium to okay.
It was also loud. You didn't like the noise level. But that's like a more bougie place, I think.
And then I didn't.
What do you order when you get your Italian?
The same thing that Leo orders.
A burger?
No, chicken parm. I always go with the foundational chicken parm. That's how you measure it. You measure Italian via chicken parm. You measure Chinese based on sweet and sour
not
chicken.
Spaghetti. What is it again, Ashley?
Maria and Enzo's Restaurante.
What was going on this season?
Oh, there's going to be a breakfast with Santa.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. Cool kid event.
Yeah, we're not talking about kids. Screw them kids.
I mean, adults like Santa too.
Yes. I would like to sit on Santa's lap. Okay, so
wasn't that like Tiffany or something?
Let's take this conversation offline.
The listeners don't need to hear our plans.
Exactly.
That's true.
Let me hit unrecord on this.
And that wraps up another magical episode of the Dank Pod. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. Find us on Instagram at the Dank Pod, online at thedankpod.com, and send any questions, comments, or suggestions to thedankpod@gmail.com. We hope you enjoyed our chats and Disney Adult takes on Walt Disney World. Remember, even as adults, we're all just kids at heart when it comes to the magic of Disney. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay dank.